There is a kind of tiredness that sleep cannot heal. Not the tiredness after a long day at work. Not the tiredness after a gym session. This is an exhaustion that seeps into your very bones. Heavy, persistent, and stubbornly refusing to leave. Maybe you know this feeling very well. You wake up in the morning, but it feels as if you have already run a marathon before your feet even touch the floor. Your jaw is clenched without you even realizing it until you consciously relax it. And somewhere in your stomach, there is always a quiet buzzing of anxiety, like background music that never turns off. From the outside, you seem completely fine, very capable, very calm. You are the person people call when everything falls apart, because they know you will not panic. They call you resilient. They say you are mature beyond your years. And the strange thing is, outsiders only see the calmness. But they do not see the price of it. It is not a gift. It is a callous. You did not become this way because you wanted to. You became this way because you had to. My name is Philex, and I spend far too much time thinking about why people feel, react, and protect themselves in ways that sometimes even they do not understand. If you have ever felt different, hard to understand, or like you are trying to understand yourself more clearly, if this speaks to something you have carried quietly for years, stay with me until the end. Because by the time this video is over, you may understand a part of yourself you have spent too long blaming. There is a very particular kind of silence surrounding people who have been through too much. It is the silence of someone holding their breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. You walk into a room, and you do not just see tables and chairs. You scan the emotional temperature of every person in it. You track the micro-expressions on their faces, a raised eyebrow, a small shift in tone of voice. Not because you are curious, but because a long time ago, noticing those tiny details was the line between safety and danger. And society often misunderstands this. People call you distant when you need space. They call you stubborn when you need to control everything. They call you cold when you no longer react strongly to the things that once hurt you. But the problem is, none of those labels are right. Those behaviors are not character flaws. They are maps. And those maps trace the exact terrain you had to walk through. Look, maybe you have spent years analyzing your own behavior and attaching negative labels to it. You look at your distrust and call it bitterness. You look at your tendency to isolate and call it antisocial. You look at your exhaustion and call it laziness. Put all of those labels down, because they are completely wrong. What you are experiencing is not a character defect. It is a biological reflex. A nervous system functioning exactly as it was designed to function. A function it was forced to learn. Think about your need for control. Other people may see you as rigid. But for you, control has never been about power. It is about predictability. When you grow up in a chaotic environment, where the mood of the family changes like storm winds, knowing what is going to happen next becomes the only way to avoid getting hurt. It is not that you are being difficult. It is that you are trying to create a small zone of safety in a world that taught you it was never truly safe. Or think about emotional numbness. That feeling of standing behind a pane of glass, watching people laugh and connect, but being unable to step inside. Not because you are cold, but because your emotional immune system has pulled the circuit breaker. Just like when too much electricity flows through, the breaker shuts off to prevent a fire. You do not stop feeling because you want to. You stop feeling because the pain is too sharp, and your brain decides that numbness is better than collapse. You are not weak. You have simply had to be strong for too long. Your body is loyal to you. It has rewired itself to protect you. But today, that strategy is coming with a very expensive accumulated cost. And this is where things become truly interesting, in a rather frightening way. Why can't you simply relax? Not because you do not want to, but because your brain is running an entirely different program. When you are triggered, your brain does not ask, "Is this reasonable?" It only asks, "Am I in danger?" And if the answer is yes, even if it is only a feeling, your body will react as if the danger is truly happening. Immediately. No further questions asked. Think of it this way. Inside your brain, there is a smoke detector. In a normal person, it only goes off when there is real fire. But you once lived in a burning house. And now, your smoke detector has set itself to maximum sensitivity to the maximum sensitivity. It goes off when you toast bread, when you light birthday candles, or when someone simply stays silent a little too long. It interprets a neutral facial expression as suppressed anger. It interprets a slow reply to a message as impending abandonment. It looks at a quiet Sunday afternoon, not as peace, but as the terrifying calm before the storm. And when that alarm goes off, the rational part of your brain gets locked out. Completely. You are no longer processing information. You are reacting. That is why you cannot think your way out of a panic attack. Not because you are weak, but because this is not a problem of thought. This is a biological coup. Picture it this way. A normal person is like a car with the engine turned off, cooling down. But you are a car in neutral, with the gas pedal pressed all the way down, the engine roaring at 7,000 revolutions per minute. You look still, but under the hood, you are burning fuel at a terrifying speed. This is why we talked earlier about that bone-deep exhaustion. You are not tired because you are lazy. You are tired because your body is running a marathon every day while you are sitting still. But the brain does not naturally become that vigilant. No one is born clenching their jaw when they hear a door open. No one is born knowing how to read other people's faces like a weather map. Those things are learned. And often, they are learned very early. And this is the part that society often judges most harshly. Because you have endured too much, you may have reached the point where you had to make the decision to create distance, set boundaries, or walk away completely. And because we live in a culture that worships the idea of family above all else, you may be carrying a crushing burden of guilt. Now, you may be thinking, so am I just avoiding things? I need you to hear this. You are not the villain in this story. The distance you have created is not an act of malice. It is an act of survival. You did not leave because you stopped loving them. You left because you ran out of the ability to absorb pain. You are not rejecting a person. You are rejecting a dynamic that is slowly destroying you. For many years, you functioned as the shock absorber for the entire family. You absorbed the toxicity so other people would not have to. But even shock absorbers were out eventually. You did not leave because you were cold. You left because you were on fire and no one was holding a hose. They only asked why you were not keeping them warm. The story of the ungrateful child is a lie designed to keep you inside the cycle of control. The truth is, you have already paid the debt with your childhood, with your nervous system, with years of hypervigilance and anxiety. You have paid enough. Now you are allowed to save yourself. But this is what most people do not see. There is a bitter paradox here. While the environment you grew up in took many things away from you, it also forced you to develop an almost supernatural set of skills. Because you had to predict danger in order to survive, you are now an analyst of human behavior. You walk into a meeting and within 5 minutes, you know exactly who holds the power, who is lying, and who is insecure. You can sense a shift in someone's mood before they even realize it themselves. And when a crisis happens, while everyone else is panicking, your nervous system actually calms down, because chaos is your home turf. But this is a double-edged blade. The very skills that kept you alive in the past are the things preventing you from living fully right now. You are analyzing your partner's silence as if it were a threat, when in reality, they are simply tired. You read into a casual comment from a friend as if it were a betrayal, when in reality, it was just a careless remark. You have become so good at surviving that you have forgotten how to simply exist. You are walking around your living room wearing 25 kilograms of medieval steel armor. It saved your life. But now you are trying to hug your partner, play with your children, or relax on the sofa. And you are clanking around inside that suit of steel. It is heavy. It is hot. It isolates you. The problem is not the skill. The problem is that you are using wartime weapons in a peacetime garden. A shield is useful in battle, but it is very heavy to carry through a garden. Maybe it is time to put it down. So how do you begin to take off that armor? The answer is not to force yourself to forgive, not to try to reconcile with people who are determined to misunderstand you. In fact, the most healing thing you can do may be to stop trying to fix what cannot be fixed. You have been banging your head against a locked door for years, hoping that if you knocked the right way, said the right words, or became successful enough, the people on the other side would open it and finally see you. They will not. This is called ambiguous loss, grieving someone who is still alive. You are grieving the mother you deserve to have, but never received. The father who should have protected you, but did not. Sometimes this is even harder than a funeral, because hope is still there, teasing you. But true peace comes when you accept the reality of who they are, not who you wish they were. There is a saying in recovery circles: you are going to a hardware store looking for milk. You keep returning to that dry well, hoping that this time there will be water. but the hardware store does not sell milk. Your family of origin may not be capable of giving love or safety. They simply do not have those things on the shelf. And the moment you stop expecting them to sell those things, you stop breaking your own heart. Your task now is not to repair the past. It is to build a new present. Look around your life right now. Who are the people who make your nervous system feel quiet? Who are the people who listen to you without interrupting? Who are the people who see your armor and gently ask whether you would like to take it off for a while? That is your family, not necessarily the people who share your blood. And here are the small steps you can begin today. The next time you feel a strong reaction to something, pause and ask yourself, what is this behavior trying to protect me from? No judgment, just curiosity. Observe your body when you are around certain people or environments. Your body knows before your brain does. If your shoulders tense up when you walk into a certain room, that is data. Learn to tell the difference between real peace and emotional numbness. Peace feels like opening. Numbness feels like emptiness. They may look the same from the outside, but they feel very different from the inside. Instead of disappearing completely, try setting one small boundary first. Instead of forcing yourself to respond immediately, practice saying, I need time to think about this. And write down what you truly want, not what you are expected to want. The child inside you gave up their desires in order to survive. The adult in you is allowed to have them again. And this is the moment I want you to truly listen. You are not broken. You are not too sensitive. You are simply a survivor still wearing armor in a room where the war ended many years ago. But here is the miraculous thing about you. You are the person standing in the current of generational trauma, of inherited silences, inherited anger, learned helplessness, and you plant your feet down and say, it stops here. The yelling stops with you. Neglect stops with you. The cycle of not knowing how to love properly stops with you. You are the firebreak in a forest that has been burning for generations. Yes, it is unfair that you have to rebuild a house you did not destroy. It is unfair that you have to heal wounds you did not cause. But when you build yourself, you get to choose the materials. You no longer have to live in the ruins of other people's mistakes. You are the architect of your own peace. You are no longer the victim of the story. You are the author of the next chapter. So take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs. The danger has passed. You are no longer the small child trapped in that large room. You are an adult with agency, with strength, and with the ability to choose. You spent your whole life surviving the darkness, but you do not need to hold your breath anymore. The air here is safe now. You survived the storm. Now you are allowed to be the sky. If this video made you see some part of yourself, leave a comment below. What did you recognize about yourself in today's topic? Maybe it is the feeling of always having to be strong. Maybe it is the guilt of setting boundaries. Maybe it is the first time you have understood why it is hard for you to trust other people. Whatever it is, I would love to hear it. And if you want to keep exploring the deeper layers of human psychology, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next videos. Every week, we will continue peeling back the layers no one teaches you in school about how you feel, how you react, and most importantly, how you can return to yourself. I will see you in the next video.